Hello friends, this is Worm, and it's Monday, which means it's time for another episode of Exotic Recrafting. This is a series where we take a look at weak, underused, or straight up bad exotics in Destiny 2 and talk about how to make them better. And on the menu for today, we have what I would call a bad exotic, and that is Winter's Guile. Hey guys, this is Editorial Worm here, and I just wanted to remind y'all that we will be live here on YouTube on Tuesdays and Thursday nights starting at 9 p.m. Central. So come check us out. We talk about Destiny 2, talk about the good, the bad, the ugly, all that stuff. We just have a good time, so come check it out. All right, that's it for me. I'm out. And the reason why I call this bad is because I got in there and I used it. It's not good. It's not good. And we're going to talk about why it's not good. But first, let's talk about what it does. It comes with the perk Warlord's Sigil. Defeating targets with melee attacks increases your melee damage, and targets frozen by Penumbral Blast automatically shatter. Now that latter part, the targets frozen by Penumbral Blast automatically shatter, that was added more recently. That has not always, historically existed on this since, original D1 vanilla, but that is something that Bungie added in later on. But this exotic, shares a perk with another exotic on Titan, which is the Wormgod's Caress. Now, Wormgod's Caress got a complete rework with how its perk Burning Fists actually works. So on Wormgod's Caress, you have a bar, and every time you get a melee kill, that bar fills up, and so you can stack it up to ×5. It gives you a massive boost to your melee damage, like 300 or 400%, like something crazy like that. And then if you don't get a kill in that time, that bar will start to taper off, so instead of being 400% more damage, it drops down to only 300, 200, so on and so forth. Winter's Guile, though, Winter's Guile works differently. Winter's Guile works under a timer system. So when you get a melee kill, you have 5 seconds to get another melee kill. Otherwise, you lose all of the damage. So unlike Wormgod's Caress, where you may not have the uptime on the 400% melee damage, but as it's tapering off, you have a decent amount of time to get another melee kill and still have a melee boost. This one, if you don't get a melee kill in 5 seconds, it's off and it's done. And that's one of the things that makes this exotic, and that's one of the things that made Wormgod's Caress not very good. And of course, they updated Wormgod's Caress, but Warlord's Sigil is still the same as it was historically, which makes Winter's Guile just an awkward and a clumsy exotic to use. Now, the second part there, targets frozen by Penumbral Blast, that's not too bad, actually. I really like the ability to automatically shatter your frozen targets, and I do like that it has that synergy with Stasis, because Winter's Guile, I mean, it literally is in the name, winter, stasis, cold, freezing, ice, stuff like that. So let's talk about what we can actually do to make this exotic better. And I would start with just basically the first and foremost one. Give it the same treatment you gave Wormgod's Caress. Instead of having a timer, you could give it a bar. Now, I'll be honest with you, I think this is the lazy way out. I don't want Bungie to do this because, in my opinion, Warlock is not a melee-based class. Like Titan, you have things like Banner of War and Knockout, and you have melee builds that really amplify your Titan playstyle, but on Warlock you don't have that stuff. So the fact that they added this this melee based exotic to Warlock feels kind of clunky. Like, yes, you can make builds around it using things like woven mail, you can use things like frost armor, maybe some restoration, stuff like that, but really just use a different exotic. So with that being said, I don't think that's a good idea for Bungie to give Winter's Guile the Wormgod's Caress treatment, but that is the first and foremost option. Now, another neutral game option for this exotic, just to make it a little bit better, quite simply, give it a heavy-handed mod for free. Heavy-handed, of course, is the perk, or is a mod that allows you to make an orb of power on a powered melee final blow, I should say. Adding that would just bump up this exotic a little bit more, and I think that for a neutral addition to this exotic, a free heavy-handed mod would be a great idea. But let's talk about really what I think should happen to Winter's Guile. Like, this is in my opinion the best thing that Bungie could do, and we're going to start with a complete rework. Okay, so currently Winter's Guile, of course, it works. It doesn't matter your subclass. You can use it on any subclass. Yes, if you're using it on Stasis, it has a little bit more synergy because it's synergized with Penumbral Blast. Let's go ahead and scratch the neutral game of this exotic. Let's build completely into Stasis. Now, first of all, the target's frozen by penumbral blast automatically shatter. Just leave that on. I really like that. I think that makes it a really unique, high damage melee ability. You know, you send it out, it hits a target, it stops that target, and then it creates that shatter like almost instantly, which deals a massive amount of damage to the target and enemies around the target. So this is actually a really high damage melee. Just, it's a one and done kind of deal. You don't have to melee first, then shoot the enemy or anything like that. So I like the idea of it automatically shattering. Now, where to go from there though? Well, of course, I think it was maybe a couple seasons ago, or maybe it's this season, I don't remember when it was, but we had a artifact mod that allowed us to, when we killed a frozen target, when we shattered a target, or when we shattered stasis crystal, I don't remember exactly what it was, it would shoot out shrapnel around that target. Why not bring that ability to Winter's Guile? Okay, so in Winter's Guile now, when you throw your melee ability out and it you know, freezes that target, it will instantly shatter it. But when that enemy is shattered, it will send shrapnel out that slows other enemies around it. And you could even, I would go as even far to say, do that for any frozen enemy. So if you have a weapon with headstone, or if you're using what is it, I can't remember the name of the exotic scout rifle, but let's say you're using something that can freeze a target, or using a cold snap grenade. Once you shatter that target, it will send out that shrapnel. Now keep the auto shatter to the penumbral blast only. You know, when you freeze a target with penumbral blast, it auto shatters, but if you freeze it with a cold snap, sorry, doesn't auto shatter. But any shattered target could send out that shrapnel, and I think that would be a really nice addition to Winter's Guile. I also think that this is a melee based exotic. Why not give it a second penumbral blast charge? That way you have just more uptime on your penumbral blast. And while we're talking about uptime, why not just build in Whisper of Hunger just for free? Whisper of Hunger, of course, is the fragment for stasis that allows you to get more melee energy when you're picking up stasis shards. That way it has synergy with not Glacial Harvest, whatever the harvest mod is. I can't remember the harvest mod here for Warlock, but whatever it is, give it that synergy so that, okay, like I'm using stasis, you know, I've got a clear build in mind. I want to use a stasis melee build. Well, I don't have to use Whisper of Hunger now because I have that built in to my exotic. Then I also have 2 penumbral blast charges. Then I also can automatically shatter targets, and the cherry on top, when I freeze a target with stasis somehow, when that target is shattered, it sends out those shrapnel that not freezes, but slows other targets around. I think that would be a really wonderful change. Again, Winter's Guile, it's so out of date. It's just not good. I think it needs a rework to function completely just with stasis, you know, and I don't know, maybe help me out here, guys. Like, do you think that would be, what do y'all think about that? You know, like, I like the idea of a stasis synergizing melee ability because Penumbral Blast is such a neat melee ability. Like, it's a good melee ability, and we've had other exotics that synergize specifically with certain melees. You know, on Titan we have Second Chance, which synergizes specifically with the shield throw. So why not recreate Winter's Guile to specifically synergize with Penumbral Blast? But yeah, that's my ideas for Winter's Guile. Again, just give it a second Penumbral Blast, give it built-in Whisper of Hunger, and then of course when you shatter a target, any target, it sends out those slowing projectiles. Plus, of course, keep on the targets frozen by Penumbral Blast automatically shatter. I think that's a nice bonus on top. But yeah, with that being said, those are my ideas for Winter's Guile. Tell me your thoughts on my ideas in the comments below. And of course, if you liked today's video, do me a favor, drop a like. It helps the channel out a lot. Subscribe for more daily Destiny content, conversations, debates, discussions, all that good stuff. And do me one more thing. Watch the videos you see here on the end screen. If for whatever reason YouTube thinks you'll like them, guys, I will see y'all next time. Bye for now.